I mean, there's other songs on here too, like Crutch, which is the opposite, which is a song about somebody, the opposite about, pretty much telling someone to, go away. It's about someone that, it's kind of about a depressive person as well, about how they always want to be there for you, only when it's good for them. So it's like, you can lean on me, but don't lean on me like I'm your crutch, which is kind of like this line I wrote about this person I have that I know. You know what? Not too many people write songs like that. That's why I felt really good when I got songs like that on our record. It's funny because a lot of people are like, well, you write every song you write is about a relationship. I'm like, well, no, actually, that's this new record that's actually far from true.
Do you ever feel like the relationship isn't balanced because you've been there? You know what I mean? That because you've been strong for somebody else? Is that... You know what I mean? How you can kind of get pissed about that?
The relationship with who?
With whoever that is leaning on you when you want to lean on. You know what I mean? Is that something that you can kind of almost put you to the end, like, okay, I don't even know if I want to deal with this person anymore, even though you love them.
Yeah. Me and my wife have been there a few times with this person.
Yeah, right.
But it's one of those things where it's like they're families, so you got to kind of like, they keep coming back, and then they do something stupid again. So then you're like, we're not going to talk to that person anymore. And then they you're like, all right, we'll have them over for Christmas. And then they, get drunk or say something stupid, and you're like, oh, why did we invite them over? Why? I thought we learned our lesson. It's just one of those sad things,
Well, isn't it interesting that I guess we all try to get somebody's attention in different ways. Have you ever said to them, okay, you know what? Just go listen to this song and just get the hell out of here. Have you done that with a song for them? Or have you just sort of said, okay, I just need to do this because I can release whatever's pent up inside me?
Yeah, I think I do this more for selfish reasons. I don't think I'm a mean enough person to be like, you know what, listen to track 5 and else. You'll know why I don't call you. I don't think I'm that kind of person. I think it's better to, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. So I kind of do this for my own reasons to, vent my frustrations.
So really, you're not a mean guy? I would think you'd be a mean guy.
Only on stage. That's when I throw rocks at our audience.
Nice. That's a rock show.
That's rock. Yeah, that is.
That is a rock show. So who, growing up, made you want to... I guess lyrically, because I think you put a lot of effort into your lyrics, was there somebody that when you were growing up, you just kind of went... You connected with them the way you kind of hope your audience connects with you?
Is there anybody like, you mean like a hero, like someone
I don't know.
Yeah, be like?
Somebody that you went, that when you were in your bedroom or in your car or wherever you listened to music, that you kind of went, yeah, man, that's... And just like you said with Bad Girlfriend, you had to turn it up because it spoke to you. It spoke to you on the inside.
Led Zeppelin was a huge band. It was kind of like the first band I listened to that wasn't rap. Because when I was a kid, I listened to like a lot of rap. Then all of a sudden, my dad had one of those pieces of furniture that was a record player. It was like a huge piece of wood.
Oh, huge piece of wood.
And he had all these records in it. And he had like Supertramp and The Doors, and Led Zeppelin 2 was the first record I put on. I think the first track is Whole Lot of Love. Mm-hmm. And I put that on, and that was it. I instantly became a rock guy. And, the sound quality wasn't that good, but, I had all these crazy panning things, and I was like, man, this is cool. This is cool stuff.
So you had to get good headphones.
Yeah. And then it became, Led Zeppelin 4, and that record was the epitome of, for me, 8 songs that were like the best songs ever for me.
Really?
So Jimmy Page became like my guitar god, and I had to learn every Led Zeppelin song there was, and so that to me kind of is like one of those bands that really started me on my path to where I am today.
I guess there's an awful lot of rock people who still bitch about rap music, but I always appreciated it, and I really appreciate it lyrically because I always thought they kind of had a social conscience about it. You know what I mean? I mean, some, not everybody. I mean, not necessarily MC Hammer, although he certainly probably wrote some stuff. But I mean, were you into it just because that was where music was when you were growing up?
I mean, I really liked it. It was probably because all my friends listened to it, and that was just how things were when you're growing up.
Sure.
But my favorite rap band was Public Enemy, but they did have a message. They were very political, politically driven, and Chuck D was very pro-black. He always talked about Farrakhan and all this kind of stuff, which I couldn't relate to when I was 12 years old, but
can understand it more.
at least he was rapping about something that made sense, and I can understand it, or not understand, but I could get something out of it.
It's so funny where Chuck D, he continues to make statements and do stuff that seem important, if you will, and Flava Flav just went just went like over there.
Right. Yeah, I guess he's just nuts.
Well, you know what? He's nuts, but he's probably making a bunch of money doing all that reality show funky stuff. You need a big clock around your neck, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm so sorry to ask you what Theory of a Deadman, the name of the band, is there some greater meaning there that...
It's a thought-provoking title that we picked a long time ago. First record has a song called The Last Song on it, which was a song about a kid who was thinking about suicide, and wrote a list of things that there was to live for, things he was going to miss when he was gone, that would talk him out of it. So it became The Theory of a Deadman, and we just took that cool line and made it the name of the band, which kind of bit us in the ass a little bit, because a lot of people are like, Deadman's what? Theory of a what? Huh? But we just think it's a cool, thought-provoking title that is different than anything that's out there.
And was that a story that you concocted, or was that something that was real in your life about the last song?
No, I've never been. I'm sure I've been depressed at times, but when I wrote that, I think it was pretty much a story. I don't think it was. No, I've never been suicidal.
Certainly, people get really depressed, which is, I guess, easy to get to. But I guess there's another level. You know? And especially when I hear somebody writing about it, I guess if you really get into your dark psyche, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, right. Well, there's a lot of subconscious stuff that goes on that, a lot of the older stuff I would write, I didn't really know what the song was about until after I wrote it and read through it a few times. I went, okay, I think I know what I'm trying to say here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't as conscious as like the new stuff where I would be like, okay, I want to sit down and write a song about how I met my wife, and I'd sit down and write it. And it actually makes it a lot easier to write, because you know what word literally is going to come next. Where, when I was younger, no one really taught me how to write a song, so it took me a long time to figure out, how to make it easier. But, it also makes it cooler when you listen to the old stuff, going, well, it's cool that I wrote a song about, my mother leaving our family and not really knowing about it till I read it a few times.
So you came from a divorced?
Yeah.
Was that tough when you were growing up?
Yeah, it happened to me when I was a teenager, so it was right in that time of your life too, where you're this nervous kind of teenager where you don't know where you're going to go with your life, and you don't know you kind of need support. And my dad, bless his heart, he wasn't the greatest, supporting. He was really great with music. He was really great at supporting with music, but he wasn't much of a bass. He was more like a roommate at times. I was always like a mama's boy, so my mom left. It was just like, there
goes your anger.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
that was it. So my dad, became, depressed and kind of screwed up, and it didn't help things for me. So going to the music was all I didn't know. I didn't know what else to do. That was it.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, older sister.
Oh, okay.
She was she had moved out at the time already, so I think she handled it better than I did.
Well, she's probably in, just a more mature place, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she was already independent enough where, it sucked for her, but she didn't need the parentals. I still lived at home and went to school and stuff, so.
How's your relationship with both of them now, both your parents?
It's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
My dad's still, very independent and sometimes, lonely guy. He likes to be on his own stuff, and my mom seems very happy.
Do you worry about the loneliness?
I have a lot of traits that my dad has.
Yeah.
So I think I've been lucky enough to be able to. I got a great support from my wife now, who's my rock. But I've also found a way to put, with the music, it's really helped me find a way to, keep me busy, but also put my emotions down on paper.
I think if I border on anything, it's because I think there's a great thing about being alone and being able to center yourself or be spiritual or whatever, but it also, can kind of creep into loneliness, and when you start feeling sorry for yourself, or you get pissed at the world, and that's the stuff that's scary. And the more that I read, especially stuff, maybe it's only happening in America, but I assume it's happening all over, but more and more people live alone now. 25% of Americans live in a single household, and I just sort of go, bet a lot of those curtains don't get opened, and I don't know how we attack that. I don't know how guys like me or you can go around all day knocking on doors. I guess you're knocking on doors by writing this stuff, huh?
I think this is helping out,
Yeah, I hope so.
This is like a Band-Aid for, it's just some emotional cures. It has been and always will be, It's like those people all those metal kids that, they would have, rings to their faces. They go run in the roofs and they crank up Marilyn Manson, and all those people, would go and say Marilyn Manson or Ozzy Osbourne, made those kids go shoot people at Columbine and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I think those bands probably helped those kids. I can't see, those kids going and doing that because they listen to some music,
Well, like you were saying earlier, I think when something really connects and it's there for a while, something as special is happening, whether you revealed part of your soul or the writer did, that kind of a thing. So tell me about getting a demo to Chad Kroeger. And I mean, it's sort of one of those special stories, right?
Well, a lot of people always get it wrong. I told the story earlier on today, and the guy wouldn't believe me, but I was friends with his girlfriend.
I will believe you.
All right.
I'm excited.
I was friends with his girlfriend, and I would hang out with her and her friends and stuff, and I rarely ever saw Chad because he was on the road. And this was early on. This is before, the big How You Remind Me song. And I was in a band, and I guess he knew I was in a band, but didn't really pay much attention until I gave a demo to her, and she gave it to him. And I guess he went on the road for 6 months or quite a long time. And literally about 6 months later, he called me. And he was like, "Hey, it's Chad." I'm like, "Chad who?" I don't know. I don't have any friends named Chad. And it's Chad Kroeger. And I'm like,
"You do now."
What's up? He's like, "I listened to your demo. You know what? I think I can get you a record deal. I think you got some great songs here." So we went in and recut some songs and recorded some new songs and had some labels come down, and we got a record deal. So it was pretty awesome.
Have you really taken a lot how he writes songs and kind of, because I mean he's really great at telling stories.
Yeah, I
mean he's fantastic at it.
Well,
he can paint the picture really really quickly.
He's great. Has great narrative. He's very good. He learned early on of how to paint a picture, how to be very descriptive and make people, when they hear a song, visualize it in their head. And that's one trick that I learned was to try to make people visualize what you're trying to say. So you descriptive words, you use places, use things, and people can visualize almost like a music video of what the song's about, and that'll actually help. And yeah, he's a great songwriter. He's awesome.
Thanks for the time.
Word up.